how to recoat a ceramic coated vehicle.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Luke.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. Today, we're going to be taking Luke's wife's car and polishing it and ceramic coating. Luke is a professional detailer here in Omaha, Nebraska, and you'll know by his accent that he's from Omaha. But with that, Luke has tried different coatings on this vehicle over the years, and now it's time to put another one on. How do we put on another coating? Coatings are meant to reject everything. They're meant to reject dirt. They're meant to reject all sorts of things. It's obviously going to reject another coating. Well, in reality, it's not. We've prepped, we have decontaminated, we've used iron remover, we used all clean, we used rinseless wash, and we use water spot remover on this vehicle and the PSD towel. And that's in a video that's linked down below. This is part 2. So in part 2, we're going to be polishing and applying a ceramic coating.
Yeah, you may think, I know how to prep a vehicle. I'm just curious as to how this actually works. You've come to the right place. We're going to polish, we're going to lay down the coating, and we're going to do it right now.
Right. Luke, do you prefer a dual action or a rotary for finishing?
Personally, a DA for finishing.
Okay, then the DA it is.
Then DA will do, yeah.
But you are going to be using the rotary as well.
You didn't ask me. I prefer the rotary.
I know.
You know why? It's less noise for my ears and it's less vibration. I know you've used a rotary before, but nobody out there I've talked to ever finishes with one until they learn our system. It's a real joy. So you have to see it to believe it, just like rinseless wash. So, you know, suspend disbelief for now.
Yeah. So as Nick goes away with that one on the other side, Luke and I will work on this side. And at some point, we'll switch out the machines just to give you experience with both. So this is our 25 millimeter dual action machine. You've probably used a 15 or a 21 before?
Yes, 15.
Okay, it's 15, so this will be a little more for you. We need to start with a clean, damp pad. For that, we have a pad washer. We have different ways of washing pads, and there's a video in the link down below. But a couple sprays, speed 1 or 2. Make sure the pad is clean. Then we bring it up to full speed. And when it stops oscillating, we're ready. Now the gold standard polish. How many drops of polish do you normally put on a pad?
Quite a few, usually 4 or 5.
4 or 5 pads, okay. And your drops are maybe that size?
Pea size, yep.
Yeah. That's one spray of the gold standard polish. And that's all we're going to use on the pad. So as the pad is slowing down from its rotation, we'll just add one spray. And you want to be very close to the pad. You're not trying to spray the whole pad, you're only trying to spray half. And you have to be angry at the trigger.
Give it a firm trigger pull.
Right.
And trust that the thousands of droplets, because your pad is spinning, will disperse as the pad is moving. You're spraying it, it's going on, and you have a wet or slightly damp pad, so essentially at this point it's already primed, it's all the polish.
And when you're using it, you said 4 or 5 drops. So 4 or 5 drops means you only have 4 or 5 areas actually working as opposed to the whole pad. There you go. And then we'll start at speed 2.
Okay.
That's generally all you need on this machine.
And how many passes do you usually use with this? Is it
I like to,
start with?
no, it's already ready. You don't need to break in the polish. Great question. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Left, right, up, down, left, right, wipe it off, you're done.
And next question, black plastic trim. How does it work on that?
Please.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe.
Okay.
You're actually going to remove any oxidation that could be on the trim.
Okay.
No, you don't need to do that either.
Don't even need to-
Just start polishing.
That's my habit.
Yeah, I know. So no stalling?
No stalling. This, even on speed 2,
Right,
in the little contours, it just keeps spinning.
exactly.
So that's a game changer.
That's what it's designed to do. And speaking of game changing, I noticed you had a great posture. A lot of people will kneel, or they'll be sort of crooked, or they'll sit on those little stools that they're all bent over. Right beside you there, give that a try.
How do I use one of those?
2 knees in the pads.
Like that?
Like that.
Different.
Yeah. But now you're even lower than you were before, and you have an even better posture.
Try the back as well.
Yeah.
And this is safe on black plastic trim.
Yeah, definitely. We purposely polished the trim. Yeah, you can use your feet. You generally just use your feet to move around.
And then, would you say every panel, rinse the pad out, fresh start again?
Never put clean polish on a dirty pad.
Every panel.
Exactly.
See, I
Or every section.
change my pad every panel.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need to change the pad. And those who have never used the pad washer, just take a look at his pad. He went over his trim, and his trim is releasing a bit of oxidation here. So, clean your pad. We have rinseless wash 250/6:1 in the pad washer. You want to be a little more, with the pumping, you want to give a pump that's a little
Bit more
faster. Not hard, but fast.
Okay.
That's good. Speed 6. There you go. And you should have a clean pad.
Perfectly clean.
Yeah, exactly. And now for the spray. So just give the trigger a little bump. So now instead of having 5 big drops, you've got about 1,000 little drops. So how old are you?
33.
Stand up straight.
My back's bad. I got a fusion in my spine, so it's very difficult.
Right, no, but you shouldn't need to bend over to polish.
But This doesn't install.
No.
Speed what? 2.5?
You can put it on speed 1 and it's not going to install.
Doesn't install. That's
No.
the problem.
And you can polish the windows as well.
And this is just a very light quality knob.
Yeah.
So it's an enhancement.
It's our finishing, yeah. And you'll notice with the deep waffle that we have, look inside your emblem. Everything is polished.
Yeah, it gets in there, doesn't it? So it's safe to go over your emblems
Yeah.
very lightly.
Yeah, the emblems are not going to do anything to the pad.
Because you're always taught to take your emblems up, don't you?
Oh, yeah, no.
Is it?
You ever seen us use tape?
No.
No.
But then I didn't when you use Optimum. That's
No,
why it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It's-
So since you have the hatch done, we'll have you move forward and stop at the door. I'll have you wipe off, then we'll switch tools.
It's a very different way.
Yeah,
So, like, it goes against everything you know.
exactly.
That's the scary part.
Yeah. Luke, I'm going to have you try something here. Go down to speed 1. Is the machine stalling?
It's not stalling at all. No,
No.
not at all.
And you're almost as quiet as the Rotary at this point. So the 1100 watt motor has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
And our counterweight system, because it's a 25 millimeter machine, has a lot of weight as well. So it keeps that momentum going. It's like a heavy flywheel in a car.
But it's impressive how it just doesn't, even on this curve here,
Yeah.
still going.
You can put it back up to speed too if you want.
But then for an enhancement, all you need is speed 2.
Exactly.
Any other speed is level.
Actually, for cutting, you'll get better cut out of speed 2 than you will out of speed 6. Because you're not creating heat. As soon as you create heat, you're reducing cut. And for your longevity as a detailer, if I make a suggestion, when you're doing this, take this hand off the machine and do that instead. And don't, so this is how I normally hold the machine.
Just with a finger.
2 fingers.
Wow. Because I'm used to
Yeah,
getting
no,
in there.
just 2 fingers. That's all you need. The less you hold onto it, the better it's going to work. And you can do the door handle, the lower trim.
It's an impressive machine. I remember when you announced it, and a lot of people were like, 25 millimeter. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
It does what it's supposed to do. You got the hood and the front fender polish, Nick?
Yep. Not the bumper, but
Okay. So again, just use one hand.
It makes more sense. But then, if people see you doing it one-handed, you're not doing it properly. That's the...
I one-handed all the time. People have gotten used to seeing me,
certain ways.
well, not using two hands and then realizing, well, shit, he can do it.
Does not.
Yeah. I don't call out that, hey, I'm just using one hand. It's just the way I've always used the machine.
The machine's doing the work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get really close to...
Yeah, smelling the polish.
Yeah.
It smells like bananas.
It does.
Yeah. We'll just tell you it smells like bananas. Take our word for it. But a lot of times, especially on the side panels, here, grab this for a second. Yeah, and you know, I don't have any pressure on it. I'm just letting the machine do the work. So here, just 2 fingers.
And that's the thing, you get brought up in, this is how you have to do it, this is how you have to do it. And I'm like...
No. Do it a way that's comfortable for you.
I'll reluctantly give it up.
Yeah.
I'll take those from you.
Halfway done, so this way over is still yet to be polished.
You already cleaned and primed and okay, so it's ready to go. So speed 1.
Yeah.
It's the only speed we use on the rotary.
See, now when I was taught with the Rotary
Yeah,
from Kelly,
yeah,
it was always at an angle to cut.
yeah.
Times have changed.
Well, the on an angle thing, and that's something that a lot of people teach, is going back to old methods, going back to when we were working on lacquer paint when you wanted to create heat.
Yes.
You actually have a lot more point of contact with that than you do up on an angle.
Yeah.
So it's just logical, it's just mathematics that you're going to be cutting more when you're using more pad surface.
Yes.
And the pressure on the machine is 0.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Very smooth.
So again, this is a 2-finger polisher. Or a one-handed polisher for that matter. It's not going to go away on you. The less you hold onto it, the smoother it gets, and the easier it is to maneuver.
I'm going to put just 2 fingers here.
Yeah.
I find that when my pattern of half circles is steady and consistent, that's how I know. And when it starts to wobble on me, sometimes I need to put more.
Just change the angle.
I haven't explained it better, but once you get those patterns consistent, you've got it.
So right now, I can actually see that you're leaning the machine, whether you want to or not. It's unconscious. So one way of countering that is actually just 1 finger in the center here,
Yep.
1 finger on the cord. I'm not even holding onto the machine. And now it finds its own balance. I can move it where I want to. I can go over a body line. I'm not afraid of...
And that's the next big thing, body lines. A lot of people get stuck to body lines and Rotary.
Yeah. And now the pad's actually a little dry. So we're going to clean the pad and
Same process as the DA.
Exactly the same.
How can you tell that the pad's getting dry?
It's getting grabby. So if you feel the machine is trying to pull you around,
Clean it.
it's time to clean the pad. If you go, yeah, you'll be able to take the DA around the other side. And speed 6. That's good. Same deal, 1 spray.
Very, very, very smooth.
That's the goal.
So I'm going to try it here how you said. Just
Yeah.
get the feeling of it. But you literally said just like that.
Yep. The less pressure you use, the better finish you're going to get, and actually the better cut you're going to get. The less you work, the more it works. And if you're trying to manhandle the machine, it's going to fight you. If you just guide it, ask it where to go, it will go where you ask. Now the body lines. So you've only ever used a rotary for cutting,
Only to cut.
not for finishing.
Never. So it goes against everything you know.
Everything you've learned in the past, yes. You can't finish with a rotary. You have to cut with a rotary, yeah. People that stick to those old maxims, it works. There's not a problem. But they could, you know, if they want to try something different, they might actually learn something.
It's just so much more pleasant, like how quiet the machine is compared to the oil.
And it's very smooth. Very smooth.
And you'll notice it's been running now for about half an hour. Is it warm? No. And it's been running at its lowest speed. So we've designed it to run at the lowest speed all day long. That's how it's designed. Yeah. So now you get to learn how to wipe off.
Perfect.
Yeah. Luke, next step is wiping off the polish. Now, I'll give you a dry towel because you can wipe it off that way. Give it a try.
On the hood first?
Anywhere.
Comes off. It's a little bit gritty, but it comes up.
Right. Now, do one pass with a rinseless dampened towel. And what you're doing is using the surfactants in the rinseless to break down the polishing oils.
Yep.
And then you follow with a dry towel. A little easier?
Much easier.
Yeah. And this is doing two things. We're actually using the surfactants to break down any of the oils that could be on the surface. The gold standard polish, you can actually use, we could actually coat over this if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to follow the proper steps. But there's nothing in gold standard that's a filler. There's no oils that are, let's say, long lasting or durable. There's no solvents.
So what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. You could let this sit in the sun for a month and it's still going to look like this. It's going to be a little dusty from sitting outside, but other than that, it'll be fine. Or in this case, snowy.
That wipe off is
Simple.
the wipe off of this is easier than other polishes I've tried.
Yeah.
That again, I completely pulled. I stopped halfway in the middle. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's super easy to wipe off. The whole goal of our system is to be easy, to be fun. You know, detailing should not be a chore. It should not be work. It should be enjoyment. It should be pleasure. And that's what we're trying to bring with DIY Detail. So everything we bring out is to make it easier, to make it more pleasurable. Like the polishers. You tried both. They're both smooth. They're both torquey. You don't have to worry about them stalling. And if you miss something with the rinseless dampened towel, it's just going to wipe off anyways. But it's just an extra ease. Now, you're a professional. You have customers that don't necessarily always want a ceramic coating. There's one little trick you can do. You'll notice in our line, we don't have an all-in-one polish. Actually, we do. It's called the gold standard. But when you're wiping off, like this, you wipe with a rinseless dampened towel, one little spritz of ceramic gloss as a drying aid, and then you dry it. Now you have an all-in-one that's actually going to give you long-term protection, because most all-in-ones do not give long protection.
Correct.
Because
How long does ceramic gloss give protection?
we conservatively say 4 to 6 months. We've had people get a year out of it. It depends. Are you parking it outside in Arizona sun all year round, or are you garaging it and only driving it on the weekends? But on average, we can say, 4 to 6 months is a good, safe number to say. Yeah, roof, windows. To me, a professional detailer, like I said, should not be using soap. And for interiors, you use the rinseless dampened towel. For windows, you use the rinseless dampened towel. For polish wipe off, you use the rinseless dampened towel. Yeah, but now you've got it wet again, so. Yeah, let it air dry a bit. Well, opening the door is the perfect. And you're also not rubbing your body up against the door. Next step is panel prep. Again, a 2-towel method. So a short nap towel, pearl weave, and a fluffier towel to remove the excess. Now, how do you normally use a panel prep solution?
I always spray onto the towel first.
Perfect. We're not teaching you anything new today.
You are.
No. But we like to spray, and a fairly good amount, because we want this towel to be wet. And we'll start on the glass just because it's easier to see what we're doing. And with the one towel we apply, but now we want to wipe off before it can air dry. Because what we're doing is we're floating any oils or solvents or waxes or greases to the surface, and we want to wipe them off before they can redeposit themselves.
Another couple of sprays.
If it's still wet, there's no need.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically you're not, after the towel is primed, you're not using a lot of panel prep going forward. So if you want to go down the side of the vehicle, I'll follow you. I'll give you this towel, we'll trade for a second, and you'll see how the surface feels with the panel prep. Now, if you're unsure about the condition of the paint and what's on it, what we can do at this point is flip the towel on a regular basis, because you'll be taking some of those oils and greases onto this towel. So, let me just redo the rear quarter panel just to make sure. Don't know if you had done that, so. So our panel prep is not just isopropyl alcohol like a lot of people try to use, and isopropyl alcohol should stay in your medicine cabinet. It's not a detailing product. Unlike an IPA, you notice it doesn't dry immediately, so it gives you a bit of working time, and that longer dwell time also will do better at bringing oils to the surface.
Okay, Evan, so we polished paint.
Right.
Why is that perfectly good enough to prime this for a coating, even though we didn't remove the existing?
No, the coating is still there per se, but we've abraded it, and that abrasion that we've done makes it receptive to getting another coating.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. As I always say, overthinking things is a competitive sport in detailing. This is one competition you don't want to win, and you don't need to overthink it.
In detailing, it's like you've just seen enough to just know.
Well, that, and we do a lot of R&D, so that's the other part of it. Yeah. Our bottles have a rather generous opening, unfortunately, and it's something we're working on, but we're having difficulties. We use an aluminum bottle and not a glass bottle. And the aluminum bottle, the inserts, there's not a lot of choice. But nonetheless, we prefer an aluminum bottle for a couple of reasons. One, drop it on the ground, it's not going to shatter. Two, there's no light that gets in there. So the unused portion of the coating is going to last longer. Now, we'll put 10 or 12 drops on the applicator, And normally we would box in a section first, but we're not going to box it in. Instead, I'm going to start in the center and work my way out because I know I have too much coating on my applicator. But I want to prime my applicator. I want to make sure that I have sufficient amount of coating on the applicator so it's not dragging across the paint. And now, you brought us a white car. You're a professional detailer, so you know what I'm about to say. White cars are the worst cars to learn how to apply a coating on because you can't see. But you've applied many, many coatings over the years, many different brands. This one you're going by feel.
Okay.
And from here, I can actually see a bit of the, looks like an oil slick on water. And when 50% of it has gone back to clear, so we have that oil slick on water look, and as the solvents evaporate, the coating is being cross-linked or it's depositing into the paint. When it's deposited into the paint, that solvent evaporates and we're good. So you want to give it just a trial wipe. And if it feels sticky, you don't need to wipe anymore.
A little bit tacky.
So we'll wait another 30 seconds. Our curing time or our flash time or our cross-linking time, depending on how you want to look at it, is roughly 1 to 5 minutes. It's very dependent on humidity and temperature. Now today in the shop it's around 60 degrees, which is a little cool, but the humidity is high because we have a ceiling that's dripping, or a roof that's dripping. So now it's smooth. So if it's smooth, you're good to go.
What you realize if your towel's getting wet is you're wiping too soon. So the whole idea is you're just leveling the excess. That's it. The solvents have evaporated. If you're wiping too soon, then your towel's going to get wet. So you basically want to wipe when it's slick. If it's tacky or grabby, just wait. I know that's redundant, but that's how I learned, is hearing it a couple times. And the tactile experience of doing it is how I really learned. And the second towel is just your insurance wipe. Just in case you miss something, you're wiping it down. There's one little high spot right here, and I can only see that because...
And I'll do this side of the bonnet anyway, so. And because Luke is from the UK, we'll call this a bonnet.
Look, how do you apply ceramic coating? You notice how I've been doing the big circles?
I usually do the crosshatch method, so completely different method. This seems to make more sense. More spreading out a lot more easily as well.
I've only done like hundreds of cars with Ivan at this point. Crosshatching is fine. You can lay these coatings down however you want. Mm-hmm. But when you do the crosshatch, every time you stop and start, it's an opportunity for a high spot.
Yeah.
And one thing you don't realize he's doing that you'll get some practice on is these giant circles.
Yes.
Because they actually do build redundancy, and you think you might be missing spots, but it actually goes faster.
Exactly. It goes faster, and it's actually easier on your body. This is a lot harder than this.
Yes.
Yeah, time consuming, and stopping and starting is hard on your body as well.
We do plenty of that with microfibers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard enough on the body as it is. You can really see it from here if you get down at an angle.
So at this point, give it a little test wipe.
Grabby. You good?
Can I get your opinion though?
Yeah.
You have a feel. To me, it feels okay, but I'm going on the basis of
it's a little grabby. It's not. It's a little grabby still. And one way you can tell. Can you see the rainbow? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll put the towel down. And if you see towel marks left behind, it's not ready.
If you see the weave of the towel, then you know it's a little early. And there's no harm in leveling early. The only thing is you're going to get your towel wet, and you don't need to do that. It's just giving you more work. Now, there are some areas where we actually do want to level early. If you have a matte paint or a matte PPF, you'll want to level sooner than later. If you have a matte decal or a sticker on your vehicle, again, you'll want to level just a little bit early.
And then trim and windows, I level right away.
Exactly.
But that'll get your towel kind of wet, so that's why I like to save my windows for last.
Yeah. And Luke, the little have like a little widow's peak right in the center, right there. You got it.
Yeah, that's a spot beginners may miss. I've left plenty of high spots right in the center of the hood. Even when you can reach it, for some reason,
Right.
even on a sedan or whatever, it's just that spot that's easy to miss. He's a real detailer now.
He's doing the angles. He's doing the look.
I don't think I've ever seen you look at angle, Ivan. I don't think you just do it right the first time, and if we miss something, we catch it. But
it's a feel with the towels.
Yeah.
And if you have a high spot, you actually feel it. And you know, the way I clean windows is I close my eyes. I don't even look at the glass when I'm cleaning windows, because you actually get a better job. Your hands can feel it.
Yes.
Look at that hood in the light now. It is so shiny. All right, what are we doing next, Ivan?
Well, we'll go down this side. So Luke, I'll take the towels from you. We'll let you apply.
So a couple of drops now it's primed.
Yeah, just 2 drops. And remember, it comes out of that willingly.
There we go.
Yeah, very good. Circles.
And it's safe to go on the trim.
You want to do the trim, you want to do the headlights. Basically, everything on the vehicle is worth coating, except for the tires. So you want to, before you, the next panel, box your panel first.
Okay, so box.
Yeah, go around all the edges. That way you're sure you're not missing anywhere. And then I'll fill in the center. But you started filling in the center. I started in the hood filling in the center first because I knew I had too much on my applicator.
So continue with 2 drops of panel.
Actually, just try 1.
One?
Yeah.
So box it in first.
And overlap onto the previous and the next panel. That way you're sure you're not missing anywhere. Like you missed the whole corner here. So when you're boxing, go really as far as you can. You know, we teach our children to color within the lines. We want to coat outside of the lines. Now, you're used to working alone?
I am, yes.
Yeah. Working in a team is a little different. And when you're working in a team, Nick and I are used to doing it, and Sylvie and I are used to doing it. You announce what you're doing. So I would have announced door handle, and doing something like this, and you did it naturally, but start at the front of the door and work your way back as opposed to top to bottom. That way, as I'm wiping off, I'm going in the same direction you are.
Got it. Okay. So when you do the mirror, for example,
Yes.
still box it in and then just...
Yep. And in this case, I do the whole mirror. So I'll do all the plastic, the glass. And normally we leave the windows on the vehicle till last.
Okay. So box it in, overlapping, and we should be good.
Yeah. Now you said this is your wife's car.
It is. Yep.
What's your car?
I don't drive. Working from home, we only have the 1 car.
Oh, excellent.
Moving up here, I sold my car, and yeah, why have 2 cars?
Yeah,
It's just not worth it. So
perfect.
luckily she works for the school district.
Yep.
She's half a mile down the road. So if I need the car, she can walk.
Yeah. And is she off work because of the snowstorm?
She is. Not too bad.
So Luke, you'll just want to come back here for a second. When you box the trim, you'll see exactly where you missed.
Okay.
No, right here.
And with the coating on the trim, do you level it or leave it?
Level it.
Level it.
Level it right away.
Yeah, we'll level a little sooner on trim. Snow plows again.
And so I'll do the trim here as well.
Yep, the whole,
It feels very weird to use one product to use on trim. It doesn't seem normal, natural, because usually you have multiple products for.
well, normally you'll have a trim coating, you'll have a wheel coating, you'll have a glass coating, right? Okay. What's the trim made out of?
Plastic.
Right. What's the clear coat made out of?
Plastic.
What are the wheels coated with?
Yeah, lacquer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. You did the trim as well?
Yes.
Okay.
If I missed some, please feel free to call me.
If you want to do the roof and the hoop, then we'll be done with this side. Yeah, and you don't have to go over the same section 5 times.
Because where I can hear it squeaking, like, on there.
Yeah, that's when you add 1 drop.
Yep.
So I know you're not used to the applicator.
Yeah.
You really need to accentuate going past the corners. Yeah. So when you're boxing in, really overlap and concentrate on getting all those edges. Luke, I think we're going to end it here. Let the people at home get off to their other jobs and things to do. They've watched us long enough. Thank you very much. Luke, where do they get a hold of you?
They can contact me through my Facebook page, which is Omaha Ceramic Coatings.
Oh, that's a very easy way of putting it.
Yes.
So, yeah, good SEO there. And for us, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, leave them below because we always like to answer your questions. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Luke found us because he is one of our subscribers. And with that, Nick, any final thoughts?
It's right here.